distinctions are overrated. If two students score 80% in a maths test, I will grade the student that knows the why, the how, and the when in maths higher than the student that does not. It is more sustainable and is a necessary criteria for higher grade maths, especially in university maths. This is very important because there's this general idea that if you score 80%, and this is one of the few instances that I do say numbers, because there's this general idea that numbers don't lie. But what's more important is what numbers that you're analyzing, right? And when you look at these numbers, although you both of them scored the same mark and you think it's equivalent, but if you look at other tests, if you repeat this process and you give them more tests to solve, and you give them different problems, and they are confronted by new challenges, then you will start to see the actual capability of the student. Right? So this could have been the student here that didn't understand the why, how, and when in maths. It could have just been his lucky day, and that's the reason why he was able to score the 80%. Right? But ideally, you need to know the why, how, and when, because when you're confronted with any problem, exactly as we just said now, you need to be able to solve that problem. Not just because you saw this problem in your tuition center, in your class, right? And this is why I'm just going to link some of the principles. The first one where we said develop a skill, and the when, why, and how. As I said, that most tuition centers are limited by space, time, and knowledge. But just looking at the time aspect, if you have 1.5 hours, this is why most tuition centers only do examples. They lack the entire theory aspect entirely, right? And it's if you're trying to teach the student something, you cannot only do examples, right? It's important. I'm not saying practice questions are not important. It is, but there's so much of theory. There's so much of foundational aspects that you're missing, and especially if you contest with their teacher's way of teaching, then you should give the student the necessary foundation in order for them to understand maths fully. Okay, so that's the reason why we say we're giving you the skill. So by having, let's say, just according to, like, say 720 hours, that's practically unlimited time with the content, to engage with the content. You are able to understand it more deeply. You can watch it repeatedly and understand exactly what areas you're lacking in. Okay, so that's exactly why we say that distinctions are overrated.